Unless you've been living under a rock, you probably know that this guy, Zohran Mamdani, won the New York mayoral election. There's been a lot of talk about what Mamdani's victory means for America. Some say it's the beginning of a communist takeover, others say Mamdani has already been co-opted by the DNC deep state, and so on. All of this yapping is wrong, except of course for my yapping, which you're about to listen to. This is What, Why, How, and that's what the video is about. If you like this sort of thing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out patreon.com/whatwhyhow. Okay, first of all, Mamdani is the farthest left major American politician in a long time. Unlike Bernie Sanders, who is a social democrat, I think it's actually fair to call Mamdani a democratic socialist. For example, he wants to build a couple city-owned grocery stores. But Mamdani isn't the first socialist to win an election in America. Mayor David Dinkins of New York was a member of the Democratic Socialists of America, but looking back at his record, his heart wasn't really into socialism, or he was too preoccupied with NYC's 1990s crime wave to, actually do anything socialist. Congressman and Mayor LaGuardia was outright a member of the Socialist Party, and he governed pretty close to what you might expect from Mamdani. There have been a couple other socialist congressmen and mayors too, but of course these are all over the past century. So what's my point? Well, Mamdani's election is actually a significant event in American history. New York City is a massive city, and while there have been plenty of progressives in American politics before, there have only been a handful of actual democratic socialists like Mamdani. Now, there has obviously been a trend in the past 10 years toward the political flanks in American politics. Democrats are getting more socialist, Republicans are getting more nationalist too, and everyone is getting more populist in response to the fundamental hard-to-fix issues in America. But trends take a long time to manifest. After all, Bernie Sanders' first presidential run began 10 years ago, back in April 2015. And while it might be tempting to project current trends out into the future, we should be cautious. Zohran Mamdani, though he won with just over 50% of the vote. That means half of New Yorkers voted for Andrew Cuomo, a moderate, or Curtis Sliwa, a conservative. For comparison, back in 2017, 2/3 of New Yorkers re-elected the progressive mayor Bill de Blasio, who won nearly 3/4 of the vote back in 2013. Now, it would be a bit silly to try to calculate whether NYC is getting more progressive or less progressive by comparing these elections, since the personalities are so important, and because the Dem vote was of course split in 2025 between Cuomo and Mamdani. But what about all the other 2025 elections that happened? Well, Mikie Sherrill, a moderate Democrat, won the New Jersey governor race with nearly 57% of the vote. Abigail Spanberger, another moderate Democrat, won the Virginia governor race with more than 57% of the vote. For reference, Kamala Harris won 52% of Virginians and 52% of New Jerseyans. And she also won about 81% of New York City. And of course, she lost that election. That means moderate Democrats outperformed Kamala Harris, while Zohran Mamdani performed worse than Kamala Harris. Now, of course, you can say that part of the reason why Sherrill and Spanberger did so well is backlash to Donald Trump, but that same boost would apply to Mamdani, wouldn't it? So while Zohran Mamdani's win in New York City is historically important, and there is a trend toward the left in the Democratic Party, I'm sorry to tell my mostly socialist audience that you still have a lot more work to do before America votes into power a socialist president. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to eventually, it just means that it's not going to happen next election cycle. Probably not. So what does Mamdani's win mean for America? It's not nothing, but it's not everything. There's a lot more work to do for you guys. Sorry to rain on your parade. If you disagree, comment below, and if you want to bribe me to change my mind, you can do so on patreon.com/whatwhyhow. For $1 a month, you can get early access to future videos. Thanks to those who already support the channel, and adios.